Hello, welcome to Chrysalis Invictus. Today we have a love reading. So this love reading is going to take a look at your relationship, where it's at right now, what the connection is, what's hidden in the connection, and what the possible outcome is based on the energies that are current at this time. So I'm thinking that this is a reading for the next month or so, just taking a look at what may be happening, any information that we can get. So as you can see, we have 3 different piles, and you can make your selection from the description box below. Please see the description box for all of my classes and if you would like to book a personal reading. So let's get started with pile number 1. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your oracle card. So you have Lena Dunham. And the messages here are: everyone forgets you except you. It's okay to play hide and seek by yourself. Don't be afraid of standing on the shoulders of your parents. All right, so really what I'm getting here is that there is this call to embrace your unconventional relationship nature. There's some sort of relationship in your life at this time. So whether you're in one or whether you're single, there's something that is somewhat unconventional about the connection. And I feel that you struggle to explain this aspect to other people, or it's something that you feel you have to explain to other people. Pay attention to whether you actually have to or if you are offering up that information. That's a little bit of advice that's coming in off the top. So I feel like I have a couple of streams of people here. I have someone here who is extremely independent and extremely to themselves and introverted and really struggles to let people in. And so what is unconventional for you is your need for space, is your need for someone who is not as involved with you. Like, you long for a commitment, you long for companionship, but it's like a very distant kind of thing. You need a lot of space in your relationship. And so that's what's unconventional for you. And then there's also someone here who has a situation where you are better off without the person that you are thinking of, the person that you brought to this reading, the person that you were hoping to hear about. The message is specifically that you are better off without this person, and to see it as this person does not fit. So either they are conventional and you are unconventional and they are what you think you should be with, or there is something about them that is, it's off. The flavor is off for me, is what I'm getting. Okay. Now for the next portion of the reading, I'm going to pull from the Island Time Wellness cards, and I'd like you to think of a person. So have a person in mind. You can ask my future person. You can ask about someone that you already know. You can ask about your partner. So let's see their energy in this connection. All right, so this is someone that you can actually talk to about things regardless of their gender or how they identify. This is someone that you can talk to about pretty much anything. There's definitely an ease of conversation with this person, and they feel that way about you, or they feel that way about you. Alternately, so for that person, or for those people who identify with the maybe the message that that this is not the right person for you. If you haven't asked about someone else, I see this person really enjoying being single and not really putting enough focus or energy on you. I feel that you are putting a lot more focus and energy on them than they are on you. But for the most part, what I'm getting here is that this person that you are thinking of really appreciates the friendship that you share and the conversations that you have. So there could be a lot of communication, sort of long distance, or where you're not really meeting up with each other, but it's something that they actually look forward to. They really enjoy their time spent communicating with you, and they see you as a really good friend. Let's see your energy toward them. Okay, we have the snake. There's something about your energy that is very insecure. Pay attention to how you react to this person or to the people around this person. So if there's a lot of like jealousy or envy of the people that spend time with them, for some of you, this is a person who is in a relationship, or you are in a relationship. There's something adversarial. Let's take a look at what's blocking. Let's take a look at what's blocking them in this connection first. Twin flames. Yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. Okay, so this person is absolutely afraid of the connection that you have here. So this is a person potentially who does not sometimes this is because we don't believe that we deserve happiness, or, we have different things that we're bringing to the table. But I do think that they really see this as a very important relationship. And because of that importance, it scares them a bit. It's blocking them. The intensity of what they feel for you, or the intensity of this connection is really blocking them. Let's see what's blocking you. That's engagement ring. All right, so again, this group is very divided. I'm getting a lot of different messages and energies, so just kind of pick up on what belongs to you. So for some of you, you're literally in a relationship, and that's what's blocking you. You are in some sort of long-term partnership. For others of you, it is almost the exact same issue as the person that you are thinking of, in that you are terrified of commitment. And also, I think this goes back to that unconventional aspect of yourself, where you've almost stayed unconventional in order to prevent this level of commitment, or in order to protect yourself from this level of commitment. I'm getting for some of you that there was some really uncomfortable times in your younger years with the parents divorcing or something like that, and so you've worked really hard to avoid what they had, but in doing so, you've kind of blocked your own shot. You've kind of developed this habit of having relationships that aren't exactly what you want. So was it the commitment that was the problem between your parents, or was it something else, is the question for you, if that is your situation. But I'm seeing here that there is, and this could be a cycle that you're still kind of, I'm getting that you're just kind of, you're partway there. You're not quite near the end of this cycle of feeling definitely afraid of this connection in some ways. Be careful of inventing insecurities or of inventing problems that aren't actually there, that are more rooted in the fear of this connection. There could be, I'm just getting this for some of you, there could be a large age gap here as well, and that could be what's unconventional about this relationship. There's something that's very hard to explain about your connection. Let's see what connects you. Okay, yeah, so we have the runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So this is for both of you. This is what connects you. You are both runners. And so some aspects of this all right, so I want to try and explain this properly. Some aspects of your need for unconventional relationships, some aspects of that are what lead to you being a runner. Some of them need to be embraced in order for you not to run. I hope that made sense. So it's both the blessing and a curse. There's what behaviors are avoidant and what behaviors are you avoiding your truth. So there's both things going on here, and I think probably because I'm channeling for such a large group of people, I'm getting so many different messages. But let's see what's hidden. Cupid's arrow. Okay, so there is something, what's hidden is something very surprising and very sudden. Thanks, cards. There is a strike of inspiration. There's a new breath of life coming in. There's a shot, a shot through the heart. And let's see what else. Can we know anything else about this? Healthy choices. Okay, so this comes out of a time when you are feeling very, I'm feeling that you've been making really good choices for yourself, and so these issues, like, you're probably sitting here going, yes, I'm aware, I know these are issues, I know this is going on. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's get to the outcome, and then we'll go back. Maybe with some tarot cards, I'm not sure. Okay. I feel like I'm picking up on fear here. I feel like I'm picking up on the message here is that out of some sort of heartbreak or pain, love is coming. I cannot say whether it's with this person. There is a lot of, I want to say, there's a lot at work in this connection that is behind the scenes. And there's a lot in this connection that has to do with each of you as individuals and how you grow as people. I want to clarify. I want to get another card for what connects you. Yeah, this was, okay. So the sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. In the beginning, there could be a lot of conflict in this relationship, and or just a lot to navigate. This could be because of the unconventional nature and what you're looking for, but it just feels like there's a lot to negotiate, a lot to navigate. And the only way to fully navigate this is to make these healthy choices. We have the outcome of heartbroken. And it could be that that is the outcome of this relationship. I have, I just have this feeling like it's something else, something that needs clarity. And then I pulled these two cards to clarify. So we have mirror, mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflected in our wounds, introspection, and then wedding rings, union. So whatever this brings, there is something in this relationship that is a cycle. The mirroring aspect of this relationship is what helps you to understand how to make these healthy choices for yourself. But there's a lot of clarity that comes in. And we're looking at just the next month or so. So what could this feasibly be in the next month? This is a situation where perhaps you have a conflict with this person, or you have a situation where you return after a time of running and there are some harsh words spoken, but there's clarity. And then it depends on where you're at with these healthy choices. So if what comes in and this clarity comes in is cutting, if it is something that shows you that your boundaries and their boundaries are not matching up, then it may be that it is, it's up to you where you're at with this to either walk away or choose to come back. But beware of if you are accusing them of something, turn it back and say, I am doing this, and see how that feels, see how that fits. What this wedding ring tells me is that there is potential in this connection, but we cannot say for how long. Let's get some additional oracle cards just for some advice. Oh, this popped out. Strength. More effort will get you what you want. This doesn't feel like more effort into them. Like this feels like more effort into understanding yourself and what it is that you actually want. Don't be afraid to be alone. For some of you, that is a really, really clear message. Don't be afraid to be alone. And for others, it's don't be afraid to embrace this connection just because of heartbreak. Pay attention to, like, this person certainly has a deep affinity for you. And maybe what you don't like to see is yourself in them. So be aware of that. We have Lenten Rose, protection. Conserve what you have, save a little. And this is just about not giving everything to this connection. It's really about yourself. This is so self-reflective. But it's self-reflective when you're reflecting on them, which is probably why we have the twin flame card here, because there's a level of balance. But a twin flame connection does not mean that you end up with a person. At least in my books, it doesn't. Some twin flame connections are deep and lifelong friendships that are not suited to contemporary kind of relationship structures. And that could be what you're looking at here, is a more unconventional way of looking at this relationship, or embracing it and not having to explain it to people, not having to explain why you've chosen not to get married, or why you're choosing to not to be in a connection, or to be in a connection that seems somewhat unconventional. The choices you make in the next 4 to 6 weeks are really going to direct this ship, direct this outcome. Let's see if there's any more advice for you. Bird of Paradise, self-acceptance. You are so much more. Yeah, if you feel that you need to be in a relationship simply because it makes other people more comfortable, that's something to examine. If you feel that your relationship has to look a certain way, not because of the people in it, but because of other people, that's something to look at. If there is someone in this connection, if you or the other person doesn't feel right about the unconventional situation. So when I say unconventional, this could mean that you want to have a deep, intimate relationship, but you don't want to live together. And maybe you don't ever want to live together, or you don't, you want it to be an open relationship, or you want it to be something, whatever is unconventional to your situation. Because in some communities, unconventional is staying at home and raising kids. And, like in some situations, that is what is unconventional to people. And it's not for you to account to or explain to other people the way that you are or what you feel comfortable with, right? Maybe for some of you, and this is only a select few, there's polyamory here as well. Or there's the choice to live alone and to be single. And if that is really, truly what your heart is calling to, then there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to partner up with someone. I'm also interested in why you're watching a love reading to that person. That is a very interesting thing to me. Anyway, so I think I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining. Take care. Pile number 2, welcome to your love reading. Let's take a look at what we have here. Marie Antoinette. I've had this deck for a little while now, and I feel like I have pulled Marie Antoinette every time I've used it. I don't know what it is. Okay, so I'll read the messages down here first. So it says, be the desert, not the entree. Or be the dessert. Be the desert. Okay, so some of you are giving too much of yourself. Okay. Sorry, it got interrupted. So yes, there is someone who has been depleting your energetic, emotional resources. And it's time to pull back from that. It's time to call back some of that energy and to not put so much effort in. So if you feel that you've been chasing someone, if you feel like you've been doing all the heavy lifting, it's time to take a step back and focus on replenishing that energy and allow them to come to you. The next message, oh wow, I actually don't read them beforehand, and so it's funny. No man is worth losing your head over. And I'm sure if your friends were watching this video, they'd be like, yeah, okay, this is absolutely your message. So there is someone in your life who is not showing up. They are not showing up, and instead of sitting back and allowing them to not show up, you're kind of doing their part for them. And it says, see all, hear all, love all, and forget all. So because you pull back does not mean that you love them any less. It just means that you are pulling that love back into yourself, that you are taking this time to indulge yourself. I feel like this person has been very spoiled by you, that this person has really enjoyed putting in little to no effort and getting all the benefits. So this is, and this is not about being like tactical or scheming in any way. It's not like you are, like you're doing this in a manipulative way. And if they say that you are, so if this is a situation where that is something that person would say, don't let them use you in that way. Listen to your friends. It's funny. I feel like your friend is coming through and it's like, yeah, listen to your friends. Listen to me. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so I want you to focus on this person. I do feel like this is a very specific, a more of a specific message than our first pile. So I'm going to be able to speak on this energy more specifically. So their energy in this connection is the sword and the rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. What I'm getting from this is very hot and cold energy. Sometimes they feel really warm, sometimes they feel really cold, sometimes they're there for you, sometimes they're not. I feel like when they show up in such a way that you feel like, aha, this is it, like we have arrived, here we are. And then when they disappear, you kind of like, you get kind of cutting toward yourself and you look more inward and you're kind of like, what did I do? And it really, really hurts, but you forget all about it when they show up with this softness, with this warmth. I do feel like this is a person who likes to yield that kind of power. They really appreciate, and it could be from a place of insecurity. Who knows? Like, you know, there are various and reasons and various spectrums of what this could mean about a person. On the extreme end, this would be, you know, a kind of narcissistic person who likes to, and I don't want to use that word, but someone who is very concerned with maintaining their power over anything else. So someone that is afraid of giving their power over and afraid of being vulnerable. But I don't want to say be afraid of being vulnerable, because I think you're a sucker for their vulnerability. I think that when they come to you and they are, you know, vulnerable, you are, you kind of melt into it. And so just be wary of this power dynamic, because I feel that that is really, they like to be on top, and you kind of feed into that. You allow them to be on top and to have that power over you. Let's take a look, though, at your energy in this connection. Hand of Cards. Yeah, and you're kind of playing the game along with them. So that means that you're taking a more tactical approach. You're like, I'm waiting 3 days to text, and then you wait 3 days to text and then they don't text you back, and then you wait another 3 days and you're like, what is appropriate? And you're kind of like in this space of strategizing, but it's sort of the game that they set. You know, they have, you know, they are in a position where they're more tactical or strategical or transactional. And so I see you in that space as well. I also see that you are constantly looking for clarity and putting yourself out there and taking risks, and gambling. But you have a formidable opponent, is what I'm hearing. That this person, no matter how many different strategies you try, it is not going to, it's not going to change how they play their hand. Okay? So what's blocking them in this connection? Their values right now. Their values are to, they're not very good at, first of all, being vulnerable. They are, they're a lot more concerned with their friends and having fun and being single and being kind of in the moment. Like they're not looking for a relationship right now is what I'm getting. And whatever they're doing to kind of string you along, because I do see that power dynamic here, it like feeds their ego, it feeds their self-esteem. And so that's why you're being called here to cut off their supply. And cutting off a supply of a person like this is going to make them come toward you. And those are the moments that you need that fortification to say, no, thank you. I'm going to do my own thing. Let's see what's blocking you in this connection. What's blocking you is that they run. What's blocking you is honestly that you are such a sucker for their fear of intimacy. You're such a sucker for what you know about them, for, you know, the things that they've shared, the ways that they've been open. I really feel that you have, what's blocking you in this relationship has nothing to do with you. There you go. What connects you? Okay. So you are connected to this person through, it could have been that one or both of you was undergoing some kind of crisis or some kind of deep upheaval, transformation. It could have been, you know, like a significant death. For some of you, I'm getting a significant death in your life or in their lives where you were connected at that time, and you helped them grieve. You helped them move through this crisis. I'm really feeling like it's that. Or they were sort of like in the periphery when you were going through something. And so you were just like super grateful for their support at that time, for their presence. And you're drawn back to them. So this on again, off again feeling, you're drawn back to them every time there is something intense that happens. This could be also that you're drawn back to them in between relationships. They're sort of your in between go-to person, and vice versa. That it's just kind of like a consistent, even though it's not consistent, even though it's not giving you what you want, it's consistently there, sort of, when you, it's never been fully cut off. What else connects you? I'm going to get another, no, okay, we have to move on to what is hidden in this connection. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Yeah, this is what I was picking up on. So there's this unavailability is really a tactic on this person's part. I know this is probably not what you wanted to hear. We'll keep looking at things. We're gonna take a look at the outcome and everything. But you never know. But as I'm moving through these cards, I'm seeing that I almost feel like you have the perception that this is your twin flame. Okay, I did have the twin flame card pop out, and that was the message that I got, was that, because this person seems to look at your stories or follow you or know what you're up to, they have this kind of mysterious thing about them. I feel like you fill in the gaps about them. I feel like you are maybe creating a depth that isn't there. And again, when I said, if they tell you that something isn't what it is, listen to your friend, because there's some gaslighting in this situation. And if you don't know what gaslighting is, it's where someone tells you, let me give you an example. So it's me telling you, you picked up this box. Like, clearly I just picked up this box, but you say, no, you did it. You picked up this box. It was you. And it starts to mess with your sense of reality. It starts to mess with, you know, and okay, so let me give you an example of how this could look in this relationship situation. Okay, so you are in a situation where they are reacting emotionally. They will tell you you are reacting emotionally, but maybe you're coming from a very measured, logical place, because in this situation, that's where you have to be. You're in this place of strategy. So you're like, how do I approach this situation? And so you're coming from this pragmatic or practical place, this logical place, and they will tell you, you're being illogical, you're being emotional. And you'll be like, wait, what? When it's them, they will say that they are the ones that are being that way, but they're actually the ones that are coming from that emotional place. They're actually the ones that are making the choices. So be careful of what they say about you. You could literally just turn a mirror back on them, and that is how they think. So one of the things about people who gaslight is that they show you exactly how they think. So if they tell you, you did this to me because of this, and you're like, that's not even in my nature. It's in their nature. That's why they're saying it. Okay? So we have an outcome here of abundance. Keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. Yes, and so what I'm getting here, very strong message from Spirit, is that this is going to make you stronger. Okay, you can do this, you can navigate this, and you want to manifest exactly what you want. This relationship is not what you want. Okay? Maybe you show this video to your friend, and the whole time, like, I know, I'm there, I'm backing up your friend. Someone's friend is literally just like coming in being like, yes, like I've been telling you this. All right, let's get some extra advice for you when we close out the reading. If you're still with me. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to look at who's coming in for you once you clear this person out of the way. Let's do that. Let's not leave it this way. You deserve to know. All right, so if our pile number 2 clears this person out of the way, who do we have coming in? All right. Literally walking away. Like, Heathcliff and Catherine are one of the most toxic relationships there is, and I romanticized that relationship so hard in high school, and later I learned how unhealthy that was. And, you know, learning from that, being able to see it from the outside, you're not fooled by it again. So with Emily Bronte, the messages are, if you ever looked at me once with what I know is in you, I would be your slave. Hearts can be broken, but souls should be shared. Oh my gosh, yes. What's coming in for you is a soul connection. Love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holly tree, but which will bloom most constantly. Yeah, so what's coming in for you is something that is going to feel, it's going to feel long-term nourishing. This relationship, once you leave it behind, there is something that is much more eternal on its way. And so though you may feel like, you know, in the twin flame community, I feel like there's like false twin flames and things like that. So I feel like this is really, that person that you were asking about is the false one, and you have a true one coming in for you. What else can we know about that new connection? Twin flames. Perfect. I'm going to leave it there. So in moving away from this person, you're making space to invite in your twin flame, your other half, the person who balances you, that you complement each other, that you, that it is exactly what you want. That when you think of them, you don't have to be in pain or strategizing, that you can just be yourself and enjoy this beautiful love. All right, so I'm going to leave it there for you, pile number 2. I'm so happy for you that you have this in your future. What a beautiful energy to move into. And I hope and wish the very best for you. Take care. Pile number 3, these love readings have been really juicy, so I'm excited to get into yours. Let's take a look at what you have. Britney Spears. All right. The message that I am getting is that there's some pretty hot, passionate energy here. This really feels to me like you are standing on the edge of a cliff, that you are standing on the edge of something that feels really scary, really exciting. It is both thrilling and terrifying. It is both a dream come true and a nightmare. There's this really dual energy to this. And the messages at the bottom say, when gambling with love, hedge your bets. It says, take the risk of getting hurt because being in love can be toxic, but the high is amazing. And trust your family to take care of you when you can't. Really what I'm getting for this is that there's someone who feels like family to you that you're maybe kind of not sure of. Maybe this is someone, okay, for someone, this is a friend of your brother's. But it's someone that you hadn't really thought of as a connection. You didn't think that there would be like passion or steam or anything between you. And it's really taken you by surprise. I'm feeling like all kinds of things, like dizzy, lightheaded, like there's hyperventilation going on. Just like really nervous and really silly. Kind of silly, and like we're having a sense of humor about ourselves about this situation. I mean, I know anxiety can be a real thing, but it's kind of like, I really like this person. It almost feels like losing your mind a little bit. Okay, so focus on that person. Let's see what their energy is in your connection. What's the energy in your connection? Healing hearts. Okay, so this is a person who has had a history of choosing difficult, toxic people, perhaps, or they could be recovering from some sort of addiction. It could be addiction to the last relationship that they had, or it could be an actual like addiction to substances. But this is a person who is currently healing, and they feel that you are a safe place to heal adjacent to. This is what I'm getting. There was some kind of ending that felt really, really difficult for them. So they're sort of fragile right now. And I almost feel like they don't want anyone else to watch them stitch themselves up. Let's take a look at your energy in this connection. So you have soulmates. Yeah, soul connection, partnership agreement, soul contract. You really feel this soulmate energy from this person. Let's see what's blocking them. A phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transform, growth, changed mind. Okay, so I'm hearing that they're They feel that they're running on borrowed steam right now. So they don't have a whole lot to give yet. They're not quite new. They haven't quite recovered from the last relationship. So what's blocking them is that they haven't fully healed yet. They haven't fully transformed yet. There's still some growth. They're not ready. That's what I'm getting. What's blocking you in this connection? What's blocking you in this connection? Cupid's arrow. What's blocking you in this connection is that you don't really have access to this person. All right, so I'm getting that you don't really have access to this person. So either you don't even know, this is interesting because you have soulmates in your energy, like your soul knows, but you may not even know about this person. You may not even know that they're considering you. And you're just kind of out there thinking that, yeah. Or you don't have access to this person, as in you haven't spoken to them in a while, they've kind of disappeared, you don't know what's going on with them, or it's been a long time since you've spoken to them. Let's see what connects you. What connects you? Heart with a key. This is just a really ideal union. Like, it's something that I think people from the outside would even look at it and be like, oh, this makes so much sense. Like, you fit together really well, really well. You are both able to open your heart space to each other and with each other. There's a very home-like feeling to this connection. What cannot be seen is the girl with the snake. So this is where spirit is, the hidden aspect. Empath and narcissist paradigm. Being charmed or used, enable boundaries. This could be a history of this. Let me get clarification. This seems strange in this reading. Okay. So one of you has been married or engaged before, committed before, in a long-term relationship before. It could be that this person is breaking off a marriage or an engagement. But there is this cycle of, kind of, it could be abusive relationships. It could be that this is a cycle of abuse also in this, or I don't want to use abuse. A cycle of toxicity within your relationship. This is a whole other reading though. So there are a couple of, this is where the reading splits. For some of you, this is a relationship that has ended, and it ended because it was toxic. And there's this energy of no second chances. So while you may still feel like this person is your soulmate, they are moving on to a new beginning. They are liberating themselves from this. For others of you, this is them moving out of a situation like that. But I get that both of you participate in these cycles of, like with enable, either you have been the enabler or you have been enabled in some kind of addictive or problematic behavior. And I'm getting that this time of renewal or this time of removal is an opportunity to grow with a snake. Oh, wow. It's an opportunity to break that cycle. And maybe that you can't break that cycle together. Maybe you have to break it separately. Grow with a snake. I'm almost feeling like the masculine and feminine in this connection are flipped, like in the sense that whoever the feminine is would, like in sort of a less enlightened world, be thought of as the masculine, or like it could be a man who's very feminine or a woman who's very masculine. I don't know how to explain it, but like the roles are shifted and reversed. So if, you know, the common story is like a toxic man, an addict being enabled by a woman, this is turning that story on its head. So it's the opposite is true in this situation. Let's see the outcome and then we'll go back. What's the outcome for this connection? Okay. This started out with such a like exciting energy, and then it really got weird and dark. Just to clarify the outcome. So I see you preparing for union. I see you ascending. I see a new phase in both of your energies. But there's this heartbreak, there's this breakup that needs to happen first. So it's either between the two of you or each of you, maybe both of you are in a relationship. Someone is not, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. All right, well, hopefully that prepares you for whatever is to come here. So there is something in this connection, adjacent to this connection, that really involves heartbreak. Let's see what kind of advice it can get you. And you know what? I'll do what I did with pile number 2. Let's see, if you leave this connection, what's coming in for you. This took a sharp turn. Like, this takes a sharp turn. Peony, health. Focus on all the parts to make the whole. Okay, so there's a piece, there's something that's missing. Yeah, there's something that's missing here. Not taking into account the addictive tendencies. I don't know what happened here. Insight. The answers are there for those who look. Thanks. Something about this girl with a snake. Being in love can be toxic, but the high is amazing. This speaks to addictions as well. This is a connection where there's a lot of highs and lows, I guess. Or it starts out really high and then goes really low. Let's see what's coming in if you move on from this connection and you find someone else. So what's coming in if this person... Okay, so we have Plato. This feels like a very exalted situation, like a place of connecting with someone on a higher intellectual level. And it says, at the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. Ooh, so I actually see this relationship fueling some sort of art. So if there is heartbreak, if there is something that falls apart here, that it's used to inspire with the ascending. Someone is not open about a truth here in this connection. This feels like a very jumbled thing. Let's keep looking at what's coming in the future. So love is simply the name for the desire and pursuit of the whole. Okay, so there's something about this connection that really reflects something else in your life. So it could be your addictions, it could be your relationship with your father, it could be your work life balance. There's something about this relationship that reflects it is a cycle that permeates all different layers of your life. And so when you start to heal those aspects of your life, when you start to look at the parts, where you were kind of, I think of Jenny McCarthy talking about how her therapist said that she bleaches the red flags white. So maybe that's something that's happening here, that, there were red flags, but because it was so intoxicating, because it felt like such a high, you didn't see it. But here with this like lifted energy, you're able to see from above what's going on. And so this new connection really appeals on all levels. Or this could be the energy post-relationship where you're inspired and you're creating things. And it says, the madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. It's like the gift of this relationship is the madness. The gift of this relationship is that you ascend. The gift of this relationship is that you transform. Can I get something else about this other situation? If you were to end... Okay. Yeah. What is it that you need? What is it that you truly need? And what is it that you are addicted to? These are questions for you. There's so much here about addiction. So I would highly recommend maybe finding like an addictions counselor, information about addictions, even if it's not you that's addicted, if you have a tendency to get into relationships with people who have addictions, because you're not getting what you need. And there's a lot of, here it speaks about closure issues, that, there's relationships that are being held onto because they feel familiar, or because they feel comfortable in that they are part of this cycle. All right, so probably not what you wanted to hear. Sorry about that. But I do believe that better things are coming in for you with this ascension, and with this, with these higher philosophies and this inspiration. Use these experiences to fuel your art, or to fuel your work, or to fuel your self-improvement, or whatever it is that you are aiming toward. And I wish you all the best. Take care.